Okay. This is pretty much what I hope for. I mean, welcome into the Knicks-Verse. This was an early Christmas gift if you are a Knicks fan. If you are someone that wears orange and blue, you're a Knicks. This was like the perfect pre-Christmas gift tonight. The New York Knicks went to Minnesota, and they went a day early, as far as I know. They were there yesterday. Got acclimated to the environment. They were pulled away from their family and their other obligations, and they got to focus on what? On basketball. What happens when great players? You know what? I'm going to remove the word great. When professional players are allowed to focus on the task at hand, they take care of business. Unlike what happened in Utah. The New York Knicks went to Minnesota, took care of business, 133-107, a complete annihilation. This was supposed to be the revenge game? For who? For Karl Anthony Towns. But you know what? The beautiful thing about him, what makes him a special individual in the world, is I don't think he looked upon it as a revenge game. He wants to play great every single night. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. Tonight happened to be, the only other franchise he's ever played for. And I'm sure the emotions were high. He could have easily choked up and not delivered. But instead, the man delivered a monster performance tonight. Just in the first half alone, he gave us 22 points and 12 rebounds. That is good enough for an entire game. That's a double-double. But when you look at his entire game stats, the man just kept on bringing it. 32 points. 29 for Mikal Bridges. 32 points for Karl Anthony Towns and 20 rebounds. 20 rebounds. Wow. Look, we are incredibly lucky as a fan base to have Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson on the same team. Then add OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges tonight delivered. He's the one who delivered 29 points tonight. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He shot 50% from the three-point line, 4 of 8, 66.7% overall in his 36 minutes of play. Mikal Bridges is starting to bring it. Look, the NBA thinks they have a chance against this team. But when this team is cooking, they have this much of a chance. This, a big fucking zero. A big fucking zero. The only team that can beat this team is this team. The New York Knicks can beat themselves. No one else can. This is the greatest offense in the history of the NBA. I'm telling you right now, the greatest offense in the history of the NBA. And they're doing it without really having to do too much. That's the beauty of it. And the fact that this is under a Tom Thibodeau, like Tom Thibodeau's the coach of this team, is miraculous. But look at that, 107. They held the Timberwolves to 107. Beautiful. That's the thing. If this Knicks team can somehow become a Tom Thibodeau level type defensive team and still bring us this type of offense, who is going to stop this? Boston? You really think Boston can stop this team? You think Cleveland? Sixers? I've only even mentioned East teams because to me, honestly, even though everyone's always, the West is so much better. Fuck the West. Fuck the West. The West ain't got shit on the East. The East has the best teams, and the NBA Cup proved it. OKC rolled over for the fucking Milwaukee Bucks. They rolled over for them. They got their asses whooped in the NBA Cup. Yeah, I know. They'll probably be there in the end, and they're like a great team, whatever. But the East is where the winners are. Right now, the New York Knicks, in my opinion, is the best team in the Eastern Conference, right behind the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks, got to give them respect. They went on a great run, but I actually don't even believe they're going to continue it. I believe the next time the Knicks play the Bucks, they're just going to take care of business. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. I am super hyped. I'm super happy about this result. Incredibly happy. Because I've been looking at this team for quite a while, as have you fans as well. And what I've been seeing is a team that could actually put a ring on a finger. That's right. That's right. They could actually deliver a cup. That's what this team can do. So when they lose in these idiotic ways, it frustrates the shit out of me. And some of you think I'm being negative. I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. I know what this team is capable of. This team is just getting started. The New York Knicks took care of business tonight. They went to Minnesota. It was supposed to be a revenge game for somebody. It turned out to be a total annihilation. And Karl Anthony Towns was delivered a big win tonight in his back in the arena where he played most of his entire NBA career until this season, and he took care of business. The man delivered 32 points and 20 rebounds tonight. An outstanding performance for Karl Anthony Towns tonight. An outstanding performance for Mikal Bridges tonight. 29 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds for him. And Mr. Jalen Brunson, the beautiful part of it is, Jalen Brunson, who was in the top 5 of scoring last season, who was like in the conversation of MVP as well. We didn't need him to be great. That was the beautiful thing about tonight. In his 30 minutes, he didn't shoot that great. He shot 35.7%, 40% for the three-point line, which is nice, but only on 5 attempts. Only got to the free throw line twice. Delivered 3 rebounds, but he did give us 7 assists. 14 points for him. But, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got highlights. We got stats analysis and projections on what this team can become. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Share the video if you choose to. I would appreciate it tremendously. But please, drop your comments. I love the comments. You guys are my collaborators. They help me tremendously. Let's get going. Here we go. 133-107. Karl Anthony Towns. I loved what he did tonight. I loved it. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I knew we could win, but this is the Knicks. This is the team that gets in there, rips your heart out, throws it on the pavement, kicks it to the curb, and a cab runs over it. That's this team. Not tonight. Tonight, they went there and completely took care of business. They annihilated Minnesota, the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Completely annihilated them. If I were a Timberwolves fan right now, especially a season ticket holder, I'd be like, oh, wait, what's going on here? What am I going to do? All I have is Ant to cheer for? I was going to say something, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold back on that. But this was beautiful from us. Anyone who has it, or who bleeds orange and blue, this was a beautiful result. Beautiful result. 32 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists for Karl Anthony Towns in his hometown return. Man, not his hometown. That wasn't. I mean, that's just where he's lived for the past 9 seasons, 8 seasons, 9. I think 9. Yeah. Here we go. Cat is the first player. Thanks. Shout out to StatMuse. Cat is the first player in NBA history to record 30-plus points, 15-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus threes against the Timberwolves. No surprise. Zero surprise. Why? This is why should we be surprised? This is the self-professed the best the best shooting big man in the history of the NBA. I haven't signed on to that yet, but man, it's going to be fun to watch him prove it year in, year out for the next X amount of years. I love it. But we're talking about this year. This year, I believe because of this man and Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, who didn't play tonight. He didn't even play tonight. Deuce McBride, Precious Achiuwa, and the rest of the NBA of the Knicks roster, that this team could end up being in the finals in June. Yeah, that's what I believe. Call me crazy. Go ahead, call me crazy. I have said so many things to you guys over the years that have turned out to be right. So go ahead, call me fucking crazy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'll be here laughing at you. I'll be here laughing at you because this Knicks team is going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, whether they have enough to get past the Celtics. And at this point, I would say it's the Bucks over the Cavs. I am not a Cavs believer because I come from the school of you got to show me before I believe in you. And I could apply that to the Knicks themselves as well. But tonight was that kind of game. Tonight was the kind of game that showed me that this team is fucking for real. They went to Minnesota and fucking annihilated them. And that's an annihilation score. 133 to 107. Beautiful. All right, let's keep going. Precious Achiuwa started in place of Josh Hart because Josh Hart, personal issues or he's sick or something. That's what they said. Precious Achiuwa with the spot start opposite Julius Randle as Knicks romp in the Twin Cities. 13 points, 6 of 9 shooting, and 10 rebounds. Absolutely outstanding for him. And he did that in 28 minutes of play. He even picked up 2 assists and a steal and only committed 1 turnover. Precious Achiuwa. Love what he brings to the Knicks. It just makes my mouth water for what Mitch Robinson is going to bring to this team once he's fully healthy. Which at this point, it looks like it's not going to happen till maybe just a guess, the end of January. January 28th. That's what I'm guessing. And I don't think he's going to be available before that. But it doesn't matter because what we need Mitch for are those playoff runs against those like big physical centers so that Cat doesn't get into foul trouble and he's allowed to roam and do what he needs to do. But it's going to put a lot of pressure on Tom Thibodeau to figure out how to balance that. So he needs Mitch to come back early enough so that he can try different things. It's not going to work beautifully right away. Just want to warn you guys. Like when Mitch comes back, it might be a little weird. It might be a little rocky. But I do believe that Thibs could figure it out. I do believe he could figure it out. He might start Mitch in the beginning against like bigger teams like the Bucks. Let's say we get the Bucks in the second round of the playoffs. I don't know how it's going to work out, but let's say we do. You got to play Mitch. You got to start Mitch alongside Cat and see how it goes. And if we don't have enough scoring, then you swap him out. If we're doing fine, then we just keep going that way. But maybe towards the end of the game, Mitch doesn't see much court time in the fourth quarter. That's fine. You have to coach and adapt your rotation to what the moment calls for. That is the one thing that I'm hoping, praying that Tom Thibodeau will embrace when it comes to that time. He's been stubborn in the past. We know it as fans. We've seen him be stubborn. Elfrid Payton. Like, what the fuck was that? Alec Burks starting over IQ. What the fuck was that? That's insanity. So we know that Thibs can be an idiot when it comes to that. Let's hope it's not. Let's hope it's not, because you know what? This is a very different serious team. This is an absolute NBA contending team. Make no mistake about that. This team tonight on national television showed the world that this team ain't no one can fuck around with this team. You got to come in and bring your best fucking game to beat this team. Or you got to hope this team beats itself. And this team, we've seen it, can beat itself. So, but I think over time, that is going to drift away. And they're going to become so efficient and skilled at what they need to do. And that is the beauty of a Tom Thibodeau team. So let's just, fingers crossed on that. Fingers crossed on that. Let's keep going. You know what? Let's get to the highlights. All right, here we go. The game started off, it was a little back and forth seesaw battle. Timberwolves took the lead early, and then the Knicks were still there chipping away. I think that was Connolly hit the three there. It's a 12-8 lead here. And then Karl Anthony Towns, the best big shooting, the best deep ball shooting big in the NBA. Self-professed. And I'm going to have to start agreeing with him, honestly, the way he does it. It's fantastic. The first quarter was really kind of back and forth. The Knicks went into the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, down 1. 33-32. Look at that. I'm sure the Timberwolves and the fans were thinking, oh, yeah, we got this. We're looking good right now. Look at this. We got Julius Randle giving us 15 points in that first quarter. We're shooting 53.8% for the three-point line, 54.5% overall. We're going to fucking annihilate these New York Knicks. That's what they were thinking in that first quarter. But that ain't at all the way this game went. That was the last quarter that the Timberwolves had any control of this game. The Knicks won the second quarter by 23 points. They won the third quarter by 8 points. And I believe in the fourth quarter, they dropped it 4 points, but who cares by that point? We're up 30 by that point. So, that's fine. What a great result. I loved Mikal Bridges tonight. Mikal Bridges was a huge reason why the New York Knicks won tonight. Mikal Bridges tonight delivered. He took the most shots, 18 attempts, and he connected on 12 of them. That's 66.7% from the field. He shot 8 3-pointers. He connected on 4. 50%. Beautiful. Only went to the free throw line once. That's one thing that is a little bit of a concern. He needs to get to the free throw line a little more. But tonight, in a game like this with 6 rebounds and 6 assists and 29 points, wow. Mikal Bridges was a plus 35 points in plus-minus tonight. When he was on the court, the New York Knicks whooped the Minnesota Timberwolves' asses by a total of 35 points. That's how much the differential was tonight when Mikal Bridges was on the court. But he wasn't the only one in the 30 zone. Karl Anthony Towns against his former team was a plus 31 tonight. Delivered 32 points, 20 rebounds, as I mentioned before. Along with his 6 assists, he got 2 steals. And he shot 7 of 9 from the free throw line. We do want that a little bit better. 8 of 9. We want that to be 8 of 9. But he hit all 5 of his 3-point attempts. Karl Anthony Towns connected on all 5 of his 3-point attempts against his former team. Outstanding. Let's talk about OG Anunoby. OG has been struggling for the 3-point line. 1 of 5 tonight, and I believe he's shooting something really, unfortunately, kind of distressing of late. And from the 3-point line, he is shooting. Oh my God. Like, he's shooting like 20%, pretty much, from the three-point line in the last 5 games. But it didn't matter tonight. Did not matter tonight because the Knicks overall shot 44.4% from the three-point line. They shot 51.5% overall on 97 field goal attempts. They had 8 additional field goal attempts over the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is a sign of a team that's hustling for balls, getting second chance points. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Yes, the New York Knicks led the Minnesota Timberwolves in second chance points. Up, they were a +9. 14 for the Knicks, only 5 for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Honestly, if I were a Timberwolves fans tonight in this crowd, I would be concerned about my team. I would think my team has regressed tremendously. This is a team that was right there in the Western Conference Finals last season, so I would be concerned. Maybe they peaked. Maybe that was the best they could do. We shall see. But I don't think the Knicks have even scratched the surface on how good they can be. That's how good this team. That's how crazy this team is. We have we've seen glimpses. Tonight is an example of that. But there's been other games where the Knicks have been just embarrassed. So we don't. It's like, what is this team? Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. This is the whole point. This is like totally. This is Mr. Hyde tonight. This is Mr. Hyde. Against the Jazz was Mr. Jekyll. This is Mr. Hyde. The Enigma. Who's going to show up tonight? The one thing I will say about all that, over time, that seems to work itself out. Over time, things tend to drift towards the norms. And I believe that this is closer than this result of this team is closer to the norm of what this team could be than what we've seen in those terrible losses. All right, let's keep going here. This are the team comparisons. The New York Knicks scored 133 points to 107. Look at the rebounding. +20 for the Knicks. Look at the assists. A +10. 39 assists. The second highest assist total of the season for the Knicks. Outstanding. Steals 10 to 10. Even, but 10 is a lot. Double digits in steals. That's pretty high. Blocks. Timberwolves won that battle. They were +3 there. Turnovers, they were a +2 there. 15 for the Knicks. A little bit high. You want to keep that down to 13 or 12. But 15, I'll take it. 51.5% field goal shooting for the Knicks, over 46.1% for the Timberwolves. But when it comes down to the three-point shooting, Timberwolves shot 40.5%, which is excellent. But the Knicks shot even more excellent, 44.4%. And then the free throw shooting. Knicks have been struggling of late from the free throw line. They've been shooting somewhere in like 68% from the three-point line, from the free throw line in the past 5 games. Tonight, they're at 81.3%. Fast break points, the Knicks lost that battle, a -9. But points in the paint, the New York Knicks took care of that. They were +8 there. And like I mentioned before, they were +9 in second chance points, which in the end, second chance points, that is the magic elixir. That is what really gives you wins as an NBA team. You need to dominate in that category if you want to be a serious winning team in the NBA. The Knicks did it tonight. Let's look at, let's go back to this. All right, I mentioned the box score before. Precious Achiuwa started in place of Josh Hart tonight. 28 minutes for him, 6 of 9 shooting. He hit his 1 3-point attempt, 10 rebounds for him, double-double for him, 13 points. Excellent start for Precious, his first start of the season. Beautifully well executed. Mikal Bridges, in his 36 minutes, the man shot the lights out, 12 of 18 for him. 4 of 8 from the three-point line, 29 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And OG Anunoby, offensively, a weak game, but defensively, he played a marvelous game, which, we need him to be a great defensive player every night. Offensive can come and go, but we need him to be a great defensive player every night. And tonight, he delivered that. 3 of 8 for him. Only 1 of 5 from the three-point line. Did pick up 4 assists and 3 rebounds, 9 points for him. As I mentioned, Jalen Brunson, not a spectacular stat line game for him tonight. He needed 14 field goal attempts to give us 14 points, but he led the offense, gave us 7 assists. He picked up a lot, I think at least 2 or 3 offensive fouls on the opponents. Beautiful. That creates turnovers. We need more of that. 7 assists for him. He's up there. Right now has a career high. A career high in assists for Jalen Brunson. Let me pull this up. Right now, Jalen Brunson is averaging 7.7 assists per game. I believe that's a career high. I believe that is. We can't overlook the bench. Tonight, the bench came out, delivered 36 points from the bench tonight, but 16 of those came from Miles Deuce McBride. In his 29 minutes of play, he shot 4 of 9 from the three-point line, 6 of 13 overall, delivered 16 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Outstanding game for Deuce McBride off the bench. Man, that guy, I didn't even want to imagine where we would be, how much we would be suffering without what Deuce provides for us from the bench. Outstanding game for him. The plus-minus story right here, Mikal Bridges, plus 35. OG Anunoby, plus 28. Karl Anthony Towns, plus 31. Jalen Brunson, plus 8. Precious, the only starter in a minus column, minus 4 for him, but Deuce McBride, a plus 23. Let's go, Deuce. Campaign, a plus 18. Let's go. Beautiful. I love it. This is a dream box score right now. The Timberwolves, Julius Randle. 30 minutes of play. You look at his box score, you're like, hey, he played a really good game. 30 points. 30 minutes, 24 points. 5 rebounds is low. 3 assists is low. 4 of 8 from the three-point line is fabulous, 50%. 8 of 17 field goal percentage. That's also excellent. That's 47.1%. That's really good. But what's not good is the whole overall score. Now I'm going to talk about the trade. And I'm going to talk to all of the Knicks fans who were confused by this trade, who were scared by the trade, who were clinging on to what Julius had given us in the past and what Dante had given us in the past. Look, I get it. It's hard. Change is hard. But Karl Anthony Towns is a very special player. What he can do on a court, very few can do, especially on at his size. This was a no-brainer. And tonight proved it. So we need to put this behind us. Julius was the player who could get us to this point. And I love what he gave us when he could. I did not like all the moodiness that he also provided. It created a lot of noise and disturbance. Karl is a positive guy. He's endearing. He embraces the goodness of life. I'm sure Julius thinks he does as well. And maybe he does. But what he emotes is negativity. We don't want that on this team. There's a lot of negativity in the world. We don't need that on this team. We want positive guys. We want guys who believe in their fellow teammates. Not just talk it, but show it on the court. We want guys who will do anything they can to win. Anything they can to win. My opinion, that wasn't Julius. You can disagree with me. It wasn't Julius. In my opinion, in his mind, it was Julius first. Team second. Fans third. Karl Anthony Towns doesn't look like that. He looks like it's all together. There is no tiering. There is no 1, 2, 3. In his mind, it's all got to come together. The team, the fans, and me. That's the way he views it. And I don't even think he even cares about the me part, honestly. And that part permeates to the other players on the team. This was game 27. There's, 55 more games? 45 more games to go. My math is whatever. There's a lot of games left. This type of mentality is going to catapult the Knicks to the top couple of slots in the Eastern Conference so that they don't have to battle for home court positioning. They're not going to have to deal with the play-in. That's what Karl Anthony Towns gives you. And at the same time, it does raise the expectations really high. I believe that this team is going to make us very happy in June. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe right here. Follow me on Blue Sky and Threads and, share this video and all that stuff. Look, I'm so hyped right now, man. I'm so hyped about this team. This win is such a big fucking relief, honestly. It's a huge relief. Huge relief. And I'm going to do another watch party pretty soon. So I hope you guys in LA can come out and join me and check out some games with me together. It'll be a lot of fun. I've had a blast in the past. We'll do it again. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's fucking go!